2546 Kilo, please contact tower after shutdown. These can be some of the most terrifying words a pilot may ever hear come out of an air traffic controller's mouth. However, they are for good reason. There is pilot error, there is air traffic controller error, but there is human error. And guess what? Pilots and air traffic controllers are both human, so we're all going to make mistakes. The question is, when we ask you to contact the tower so we can talk to you, will you do the right thing and contact us? What we always want to do is just to figure out what happened and how we can move on to avoid it. Pilots must be terrified when they hear it. There are so many federal air regulations written by lawyers, not pilots or air traffic controllers. But however, pilots do feel that air traffic controllers are the enforcers of these regulations. Not so true. Air traffic controllers like myself, we all work under the same federal air regulations that the pilots do. And I have a license just as a pilot has a license. The last thing I want to do is lose my license just as a pilot will want to lose his. If we ask you to contact us or we want to talk to you, it's probably for a good reason. We want to pass on information, see how we can avoid stuff from happening in the future, and see how we can really move on and keep everybody safe during the flight. Now, the federal air regulations are information and laws put into place by people who are not pilots or air traffic controllers. Many of them are just lawyers sitting in Washington, D.C. trying to keep the airspace safe. This allows it to be open to a lot of gray area and it's always open to interpretation. Air traffic controllers, just as pilots, we're often into that interpretation, and that's how we cover our butts, just as we want to do for the pilots. Nobody wants to lose a license, and nobody wants to be out of the aviation business. It's a great industry to be in, and it's always looking forward to the future. Air traffic controllers are humans too, and we're not the enforcers of the federal air regulations, but we are enactors. So we need to make sure that the airspace stays safe for all pilots and all people flying in it. So if a pilot makes a mistake and we reprimand them quite quickly on the microphone, it's usually for an immediate incident and to avoid that action from happening that may cause the loss of life or even damage to a person or property. So our quick reprimands are always for a good thing. They're not always for a bad thing. When we ask people to contact tower, even after shutdown, what we're really looking for is information and how we can avoid the stuff. So in conclusion, it may be simple that a pilot may think that an air traffic controller is out to get them and out to take their licenses. But we're not. We're not the enforcers of the law. That's what the FAA is for. We just are able to file paperwork that may even protect yours and my butt from getting our license taken away. So the big point is, if an air traffic controller wants to talk to a pilot, it's always a good thing for a pilot to reach out and stay friendly. Air traffic controllers like to stay friendly too, and as we say, fly the friendly skies, keep sharing that information, and then move on. Move on to a better time and try to avoid the situation from happening again. Fly safe.